Hey everyone, this is Juan over at Jacobo Designs, and I just wanted to tell you the story of how this chic pedestal table came into being. It's actually quite fascinating. It's made out of 100% recycled materials, and I love the way the top came out, and the base is super fun. So yeah, let's talk. So let's start at the top. December 2017 is right around the time my shop started taking form. There you can see the tabletop in the back. I found it in the alley, 1-inch thick red oak. I never found the heart to throw it away, so I just kept it in my shop. I knew one day I'd use it, and here we are today. Finally got to use it. The way I made it into a perfect circle is actually pretty simple. I bought a jig from Rockler, the circle cutting jig, and I used my router to cut it into a circle. And after a great deal of sanding and prepping, I finally got to staining. So I just finished staining this guy. I thought I'd bust out the cameras to show you what the wood looks like after you put a clear coat. Look at that, it's so nice. It's one of my favorite steps. I don't enjoy staining because I usually mess it up. Either I'll sand or I'll scratch it, and then you'll see the unstained wood underneath. But yeah, this one is coming out okay. So ideally, when you put on a finish, you want to be careful because the foam brush will introduce bubbles into the finish. You can kind of see some there. A lot of them pop, but if you move too fast, you introduce a lot more bubbles. Also, see those streak lines? They also kind of flatten out. But every once in a while, you'll see them. So it's always a good idea to apply finish in the direction of the grain. That way it'll hide those lines. Try to do nice full strokes. Try not to go over the same area more than twice. Ideally more than once, but I miss a lot of spots, so I gotta go back all the time. But yeah, that's how a few steps to a decent finish. So here's the table, one coat of finish. Underneath I have these bench cookies. Yep, they're called cookies, but you can't eat them. And I have this cone attachment. So if it touches the bottom, because the bottom is also wet, I just did it. If it touches the bottom, it's concentrated on 4 points instead of big old 3-inch circle. So yeah, that's one coat. I think this Endurovar takes 4 hours to dry, so I'm done for tonight. I'm not gonna come down at 12. I could. I don't think I want to. And this is the base I'm gonna attach the tabletop to. One of my neighbors gave it to me, so we'll see how it turns out. So I originally painted the base white, and I thought it looked okay, but my wife suggested changing the color to something a little more fun. She decided teal was the best color, and I have to agree it was the best color. I went down to Michael's and they gouged me on the price, but I'm happy with it. Give it a good shake. I think it says 2 minutes, but I usually do like 30 seconds. So on my Instagram, I actually made a video on some tips on how to get the best spray paint finish on steel or wood. So I would suggest going there. But yeah, here's a sped up version. I left about 40 minutes between coats, and I took my time, and that was it.
Nozzle's cleared.
And with the paint all done, it's time to put the tabletop and the pedestal together. Now here I'm measuring so that the tabletop and the base are kind of concentric. That just means the pedestal's in the center. And it takes a few tries, but eventually you'll get it. So one of the things you have to be careful with when you're screwing on a tabletop is make sure that the screw doesn't pop out the top. Then you're in big trouble. So this is a little bit of a thickness, and these screws, I don't know, it's pretty close. It's about that thick. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find smaller screws. Some 1-inchers. So I found these 1-inch screws, and these are the Craig screws, which are pretty nice. So they got the square tip. And as you can see here, you see that little slit? That actually helps the screw cut its own way. So it's like a drill. It'll cut into the wood and making it a little bit easier to screw in. But the head of the screw is smaller than the hole here, so I'm gonna have to use a washer with my screw, and hopefully that'll keep the screw from falling into that hole. But first, I'm gonna pre-drill. This is my Vicks bit. I'm going to use that to screw it in. So I'm going to go around, find the center. 1, 2. Once you do that, you'll be home clear to screw these bad boys in. So here goes number 1. See that? Beautiful. Washer holds the screw nice. So yeah, stay tuned while I... Oops. Made a mistake. No washer. They say as a woodworker, it's not that you make mistakes. A master woodworker has learned very well how to hide his mistakes. I find that comforting. Craig screws are pretty strong. I've never had one actually break on me yet. Some of these cheaper ones from Home Depot, they break on me all the time, especially on oak. Oak is really hard, so I would make sure to pre-drill. If you don't pre-drill, that little drill clears out a lot of wood for the screw. And even though the Craig screw has a slit that helps kind of drill out the material, still want to be careful. The last last thing you want is a broken screw inside of your project right when you're finishing. Yeah, a couple more screws and this project is done. I've dropped these so many times. I'm learning. I haven't learned it, but I'm learning to just put them flat on the table. Otherwise, you're moving the table, you knock it over, and there you go. Get upset. And gotta move out of the way. And looks great. Amazing. Took 2 days to build. This is just scrap wood I found, little stain, some clear polyurethane. I use this Enduravar. That's the they use this stuff on the floor, so it's going to hold up pretty well. Yeah, pretty neat. Thanks for coming along on this journey. Hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye.